Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Cyprien from Fast Talk Academy again. This is lesson 5, Basics, English Basics. So, uyu munsi, lesson ya gatanu tugiye kwiga nta kinyarwanda turi buvuge, turi bukoresha icyongereza gusa, kuko amagambo yose arimo twarayize muri lesson 1, lesson 2, na lesson 3, na lesson 4. Yose twarayize. So, now it is time, iki nicyo gihe cyo kuyakoresha noneho muri text, tuyakoresha muri text. Thank you so much. Sit well and listen. You can even repeat after me. Then we read the text. We read the text. Good. Now let us start. The text 1, a day in the life of Peter and Amina. This is a text of 500 words. 500 words. So now whatever I read, I will put it in yellow color. I will put it in yellow color so we can move together. You can as well read silently. Peter and Amina are two students from different parts of the world, but they have a lot in common. Great. If you have repeated after me, that's a wonderful one. So now let's continue to the next part. The next part, see here. Next part. Next part, wow. Peter is a 13-year-old boy from Berlin, Germany. He lives with his parents and younger sister in a small apartment near the city center. Every day, he wakes up at 6:30 a.m. He gets ready for school, eats breakfast, and leaves home at 7:30. Interesting. Peter walks to school because it is only 10 minutes away. His school is big, and his favorite subjects are English and history. He loves reading about famous people and historical events. After school, Peter usually does his homework, plays football with his friends, or watches movie with his family. He plays the guitar and takes lessons every Saturday morning. Great. Let's move to the next paragraph. I hope you are repeating after me. So now the next paragraph is all about Amina. Amina is a 12-year-old girl from Nairobi, Kenya. She lives with her mother, father, and two brothers in a quiet neighborhood. Amina wakes up at 5:45 a.m. and helps her mother prepare breakfast. She goes to school by bus, which takes about 30 minutes. Her school is smaller than Peter's, but it is friendly and welcoming. Amina enjoys science and English. She loves doing experiments in the science lab and reading English stories. After school, Amina goes to a nearby library to read or borrow books. On weekends, she draws and paints with her best friend Fatima. They also enjoy swimming and playing games. Let's move to the next paragraph. Good. This one. One day, Peter's class had a writing project. They had to write a letter to a student from another country. Peter wrote to Amina. He introduced himself, wrote about his family, school, hobbies, and daily routine. A few weeks later, Amina received Peter's letter and replied. She was very happy to learn about his life. She shared her own story and sent him a photo of her school and family. Great. Let's move to the next. Move to the next paragraph. The next paragraph. Now, Peter and Amina are pen pals. They write emails to each other every 2 weeks. They ask questions, share stories, and even help each other with English. They hope to meet in person one day. Although they live in different places, they both love learning, have fun, hobbies, and enjoy talking about their cultures and lives. Thank you for the first text. I hope you have been repeating after me. For you to learn pronunciation, you can read, reread as you repeat. Thank you. We are not going to go to the questions. We are going to the second text. What we are doing here, we are just practicing reading some words that we studied in previous lessons. So text number 2. Text number 2. Text number 2 is here. Text number 2 is all about someone called Mina. Someone called Mina. Let us read. My name is Mina. Hello, my name is Mina. And I'm happy to tell you about my life. I'm 11 years old and I come from India. I live in Chennai with my parents, my grandmother, and my brother Raj. I am a student at Bright Future Academy. I love my school because the teachers are kind and helpful. My favorite subject is English. I enjoy reading stories, learning new words, and writing short paragraphs. I also like science, especially when we do fun experiments. My least subject is math, but I try my best to understand it. This is Mina from India. Let's move to the next paragraph. The next paragraph, I hope you are repeating after me. Every morning, I wake up at 6 a.m. I brush my teeth, I wash my face, and get ready for school. I wear a uniform, a blue dress, and white socks. I eat breakfast with my family at 6:30 a.m. My mother makes delicious idli and dosa. I take the school bus at 7 a.m. and school starts at 8 a.m. Great. Wonderful. Let's move to the next paragraph. I hope you are repeating after me so you are able to learn how to read. Next one. Sorry. My classroom has 30 students. We sit in pairs and have a big whiteboard at the front. We use pencils, erasers, rulers, and notebooks. Sometimes the teacher uses a projector to show us pictures and videos. During break time, I eat my snacks and talk with my friends. After school ends at 2:30 p.m., I come home, do my homework, and play with the Raj. Great. Next paragraph. Which is the last even. In the evening, I help my grandmother in the kitchen. She teaches me how to make tea and simple snacks. Then I read or write in my diary. On Saturdays, we visit my cousins. On Sundays, we clean the house, go to the temple, and rest. I love Sundays. I also like learning about other countries. I have a world map on my bedroom wall. I know the names of many countries and their flags. I want to be a teacher when I grow up and travel to different countries to learn and teach. Thank you for reading about me. Now, can you write about yourself too? Great. This is a wonderful thing. Now that you have read all the 2 stories, I hope you have been repeating after me. Now here are the questions. Each story has questions. You can see how old is Mina? Question 12, where does she live? What subject does she like most? What is her least favorite subject? What does she wear to school? What time does school start? Everything has been in the story above in the text. So now this was the lesson. Let us go to the next lesson that is very interesting. Thank you for reading with me. Now what we are going to see is what we call present simple, negative, and questions. Then we will see also adverbs of frequency. So here turaza kuvangamo n'ikinyarwanda kugira ngo everyone gets the point. So previous lessons we studied present simple in the gihe by'aka kanya. Now tugiye kuyiga like negative mu guhakana ndetse n'ukuntu wabaza ibibazo ukoresheje present simple tense, ko wabaza ibibazo ukoresheje simple present tense. So by the end of the lesson, students will be able to form negative and question sentences in the present simple tense. Use adverbs of frequency correctly in the context. So now let's start with the first one. Present simple tense in negative. So I will use a text box here. Let me put it in red color. I would like to put it in a red color. Great. Good. So now here, I want to remind you that we have what we call auxiliary verbs cyangwa se helping verbs. So izi ni verb dukoresha mu nteruro zifasha inshinga iri gukora igikorwa. Dufitemo do, tukagira do cyangwa does, tukagira he cyangwa hers, tukagira is cyangwa are. So all of these ones are auxiliary verbs etc. We also have many others, But today we are going to focus on do and does. We're going to focus on do and does. So remember, I taught you subject pronouns. I taught you here, I, Vigisha you. Then we studied the he, that stands for a man. We studied the she, that stands for a woman. We studied the it, that stands for something or an idea or an animal. Then we studied the we, that stands for others plus the speaker. Then we studied the you. We studied the they, which stands for multiple people or many things. So what I want to tell you is that here we consider these subject pronouns, the ones in plural, I, you, they. No. Let's go with the we and they. These ones take do. We use do on them. Then he, she, and it. These ones take does. Izi zo zigendana na does. Ndizera ko mubibona. He ihagarariye umugabo because is one person. She ihagarariye igitsina gore is one person. It ihagarariye ikintu cyangwa se inyamaswa, so igendana na does. Hanyuma izindi ziri plural zikagendana na do. Remember, I is an exception. Good. So now look at here. Look at here on our examples. Here we have forms. Here we have forms. Here we have forms. How is it done? So subject, we take subject plus do or does plus not plus base verb. Base verb ni nshinga ibidatondaguye. Here's an example. I, you, we, they do not like pizza. They do not like pizza. So the action verb is like, then the helping verb is do. He, she, it does not eat meat. So we use does. Now because we are in a negative, we will put the word not. So there's something I want to show you here also. Do not is the same as don't. Iyo tubyanditse mu mpine biba don't. Hanyuma does not is the same as doesn't. Iyo tubyanditse mu mpine. Great. So let us continue here down. The main verb stays in the base form regardless of the subject. Main verb, inshinga irimo gukora igikorwa nyirizina, iguma idatondaguye. For example here, the example is, she doesn't play tennis. They don't work on Sundays. So you see, work is not, it remains the same, play remains the same. Good. Here we can put more examples. Some other examples you can provide one or two examples. They do not play, or they do not work on Saturdays. On Saturdays. They do not work on Saturdays. They do not work on Saturdays. You can also as well say, I don't like too much. I don't like too much salt. I don't like too much salt. Great. Now let us see how we can ask questions in the present simple tense. How can we ask questions in the present simple tense? Great. Let's move. How can we ask questions in present simple tense? Yes or no questions. So here, something small change. Hano dufata ya, do na does tukabibanza. Remember, if for example, hano nari mfite wenda ngo I like football. I like football. So now, if you are going to ask me, I like football. So when you are going to ask me, uzakoresha do na does. So now, kubera ko I igendana na do, niyo mpamvu do niyo izakora kuri iyi nteruro. Mvuga ngo do you, mpite nyibanza. Do you like football? Do you like football? Question mark. I answer yes or no. Yes, I like, or no, I don't like. Yes, I like, or no, I don't like. Great. Now, what if I have something like this? She writes. She writes very well. She writes very well. Remember, this is a girl. She writes. She goes with the does. She goes with the does. Now we will change. When you are asking a question, remember does begin. So I will say does she, always dutangiza na does. Does she write very well? Does she write very well? Question mark. Then remember, there's something tricky here. You see, writes. Before it was writes, mbere writes. Remember I told you this. I taught you this. Now, the verb will be in base form. The base form of writes is write. Niyo mpamvu tuvuga ngo does she write very well? Wonderful. This is a great one. Now you know how to ask questions using do and does. Now let's come to what we call WH questions. WH questions. What are WH questions? WH questions ni bya bibazo bitangira na why. Tushobora kugira why, where, hehe. Why ni ukubera iki, where, hehe. Which ni ikihe, what ni iki, when, ryari, when, ryari. Let me see, why, where, which, what, when. That is it. Then tukongeraho n'akandi bita how, gute. Though ntago gatangizwa na WH ariko gafite H yonyine, how. So now we are going to see. Iyo ufite izi ngizi, uko twize how to use do and does, byose ni kimwe. Noneho ahubwo ikiyongeraho nuko utangiza, aho gutangiza do na does, utangiza why, ugakurikizaho does, cyangwa do, ugakurikizaho subject, ugakurikizaho base verb. It is written here. Like this one. It is here. It is here. I think you can see it. Can see it here. Good. Now, here we have some questions, examples. Where do they live? What does she do? What does she do? So, now let's come to adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency. Please be clear, be observant here. Adverbs of frequency. Izi ngizi ni nk'amagambo dukoresha igihe turi kwerekana igihe ibintu bikorerwa, frequency, igihe ibintu bigenda byisubiramo. Urugero common adverbs ni izi ngizi. Always ni ibintu ukora 100%. Buri gihe, every day, always. Then usually urabikora ariko ntago ari 100%, 80%. Just estimate. It's like 80%. Wonderful. Now, often, now it is often is below usually. Ibintu ukora ariko wabishyira ku kigereranyo ugasanga ni nka 60% wabikozemo, that is often. Kurugero, if we go to school for 5 days, 5 days, niba ujya ku ishuri 5 days, that is always. Niba ujyayo like 4 days, take it as usually. Niba ujyayo like 3 days, take it like often. Niba ujyayo like 2 days, take it sometimes. That is 40%. Niba ujyayo 20%. Niba ujyayo 1 day, that is rarely, seldom, gake gashoboka. Then never, niba utajya ujyayo na rimwe, that is never. So these are common adverbs that we use when we are talking about present simple tense. So let's come now. How do we position them? Tuzishyira gute mu nteruro? Tuzishyira gute mu nteruro? Ni uburyo bubiri. There are two ways. Uburyo bwa mbere, the first way, ni igihe ibanjirije main verb. For example, I always eat breakfast. I always eat breakfast. You see the word always. 100%. Always eat breakfast. Ahandi ni igihe yaza inyuma ya verb to be. After verb to be. Verb to be, that is cyangwa se are in present simple. She is often late. Attention, you can pronounce often or often. Often cyangwa se often, they are all correct. Wonderful. You see, it may come after verb to be. That is it. Now katuze kuri examples. He never eats vegetables. Nta na rimwe ajya arya imboga. Do you always walk to school? This is a question. Remember, there is always, we studied always, and we studied even how to ask a question using do and does. Number 3, they don't usually go to parties. Great. There is practical exercises here that I would like you to do. We are going to do part 1 only, then another part will be for the next time. Great. Let me put the answers here. Right, the negative form. She plays the guitar. What is the negative form? She does not play the guitar. This is the correct answer. She does not play the guitar. Great. Let's come to the next. They watch TV every day. Put them in the negative. They do not, or they don't. They do not watch TV every day. They do not watch TV every day. Great. Now let's come to this one. He eats meat. So it will be he does not. He does not eat meat. Now let's come to this one. We go to the gym. So in negative, we do not go to the gym. So this is where I told you masomo agenda kurikirana neza. Niba utarize subject pronouns, you may see, ushobora kureba hano ukabona biri kugucanga kubera ko ni gute dufata do kandi ufite we twabyize in the previous lessons. Please go and watch the previous lesson 4, lesson 3, lesson 2, and lesson 1. So everything will be all right. Number 5. It rains a lot in summer. So now in negative, it does not. Oh, sorry. Negative, we can say it does not rain a lot in summer. Thank you so much for studying with us from the beginning to the end. I appreciate your time. Thank you for being with us. See you in the next lesson. Ciao.